Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series, and we are moving quickly into the month of August in 1988, 2088. Not even there yet. Anyway, like I said, moving into the month of August 1988. Got about 13 episodes left before we run out of world class content, and I've decided I'm going to do more work with Superstars of Wrestling. So if you are new here, join the Superstars list and enjoy that over there. But we've got, like I said, about another 3 months of this product to get through. Jack Victory versus Sean Simpson is your first match of the month of August. Obviously, we've seen these two go at it before. That's not a big surprise for virtually anybody. This feud has gone on far too long. Simpson does have one half of the tag team championships yet again. A takedown, relatively simply, go behind, roll up, actual schoolboy that doesn't look like a choreographed finish like we see on WWE these days in at least every third match. Victory, though, manages to go shoulder tackle, elbow, strike, and other really basic things. Victory does gain the advantage, but Simpson, with his leg over the bottom rope, gives him a bit of an advantage and breaks the fall up. Then we see a big back body drop out of the middle of nowhere. Victory does gain a victory, no pun intended. Or at least he thinks he does, when there's a high cross body by Simpson, but Victory holds the tights. Then we go to an interview with Skandor Akbar and Iceman King Parsons. They address Kerry Von Erich. They are going to go do another stadium show. Von Erich and Parsons going to fight again, obviously. Parsons believing that he will, in fact, regain the World Championship at this upcoming stadium show. Then we move on to Jimmy Jack Funk and Eric Embry versus Steve Casey and Matt Bourne. Weird that we see Bourne back here in what seems to be an inconsequential role. He's only here for a couple of shots. Maybe he's in Texas doing some other traveling or desperate for work. I don't know what the deal is. Casey and Emery obviously have quite a history feuding over the light heavyweight championship of the World Class Wrestling Alliance, and obviously that's a big deal. That kind of goes forward for the next several months with them, or actually at least through the end of the World Class era, the next 12 or 13 weeks. They're still dealing with each other. Emery bails out to the floor. Arm work by Casey, and really basic stuff there. They take a break in the middle of the program, proof that wrestling has done this from the beginning. I don't know why people can't time matches to actually take breaks not during a program. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, Matt Bourne and Jimmy Jack Funk manages to to break down into a brawl. Bourne gets the armbar, hangs with the armbar for several minutes, does everything he needs to do to remain in control. Tag back to Casey and Emery, and an atomic drop by Casey. Casey with some shots, and then we see a bit of cheating by Eric Emery, and he manages to get a victory for his team. Eric Emery issues an open challenge to anyone. Manages to mention many guys across the country, from Tennessee and Jeff Jarrett to just basically any light heavyweight in the world. He does this over the next couple of weeks. Kind of an interesting way to go about getting attention for yourself. Anyway, Killer Brooks and Steve Cox up next. Obviously, Brooks, at least to me, seems like the guy that they use to test out new guys. It really seems like over the last several years, when there's a new talent in the area, Kelly Brooks is the guy that is used to test him. Cox is a relative newcomer, teaming with Michael Hayes, but Hayes doesn't stay much longer in the area. So Cox has to get used to being on his own. Does some headlock work, very basic stuff. Cox doesn't have a lot of experience, but Brooks manages to lead him through. Obviously, if you're joining us late in the process here, over 300 and almost 330. I think by the time we're done, we're going to be very close to, if not over, 340 episodes, the entire World Class run. But if you haven't heard this before, Killer Tim Brooks, the trainer for current WWE talent Keith Lee, so we need to thank Brooks for that, and for being a decent trainer, because these days it's really hard to find one. Anyway, big body slam by Cox. Cox, though, lands on his elbow after an elbow drop, and again with the drop down. Killer Tim Brooks comes back up, Russian leg sweep by Cox, who makes the cover 1, 2, and 3 for the victory. And then we move to Buddy Roberts and the Samoan SWAT team. Buddy Roberts puts over TSST as one of his best investments. Also puts over the fact that they know he's teaching them English, he's teaching them American culture, and other things. Then we go to a house show match, or I guess I'd say a non-traditional match. Michael Hayes and Samu of the Wild Samoans in a non-traditional arena for them, because the lighting is different. Samu manages to brawl with Hayes, takes several shots at him early. Hayes continues to do a massively good selling job, and actually uncorks a drop kick. Not something you typically see from Michael Hayes. Hayes tries a body slam on the Samoan, and they completely botch a small package attempt. But Samu manages to come back and work the leg so that it kind of distracts from that process. But anyway, back on their feet, more of a brawling style is better for everyone involved in that particular exchange. Bulldog managed to be hit by Michael Hayes, and that's kind of there, 1, 2, and we see interference from Fat 2, and then a double team, actually continued assault on Michael Hayes and Cox are there. Cox basically thanks Hayes for giving him the Freebird treatment, teaching him how to be. Cox looks actually better up close, more muscular and the like. Hayes basically says he loves having a young partner, loves being able to kind of manage to be at his best in that way, and basically says that they are going to take care of the Samoan SWAT team and Buddy Roberts all at once. Kamala versus Kerry Von Erich. They have about 6.5 minutes. Von Erich basically says he's going to take care of Skandor Akbar once and for all. Kamala actually gets hit with a few shots and goes crawling into the, I guess, towards the ropes, and that, of course, Kerry's World Championship is on the line here. I think they were relying too much on Kamala and Kerry Von Erich. In the last couple of months, we've seen them on TV probably 4 or 5 times, and I think there's a misnomer that existed only in this time, overbooking of the same talent, but there's an excuse for the territories, and that is they're running on a 12 to 25 person roster, as opposed to having hundreds of guys or 100 plus guys anyway you can choose from on today's national rosters. Lazy booking by national promotions today, and also ineffective booking. But anyway, brawling on the outside, Akbar holds on to the foot of Kerry Von Erich. That leads to a countout, and Kamala gains at least some measure of not losing. Akbar uses a chair on Von Erich as we're closing the program, and very little is accomplished there. Kamala does stand over Kerry Von Erich relatively strongly as we close the program, and we'll be back with more right after this.